I told them my story about becoming Bangladesh's first professional rugby player or NFL athlete, and they really loved the story. And when I went there, I tried to give back to the kids because some of them they don't really have the coaching and they don't have the facilities. So last 3 years I've been playing at like the semi-pro level, so everything kind of worked out with the sponsors.
It was such a joy, and I loved working with you in that capacity because you just get it. It is that storytelling, actually realizing that that is the goal that sponsors are looking for. Did did you expect that level of attention you got, because you got on television twice? It was national television.
I didn't, to be honest, I didn't really expect a lot. So that's they were kind of intrigued, and I told them, that, yes, I'm a rugby player, and the reporters came down and they did a story, and then someone else from another TV channel, they wanted to do a story as well on it. So it was definitely good because I gave you guys a shout out and sponsors and everything like that, and promote my story. So they say any form of publicity is good publicity.
You're listening to Becoming MatchFit, the podcast helping athletes and high performers build confidence, clarity, and opportunity on and off the field. I'm your host, Nick Greentree.
From Bangladesh to Australia, balancing real estate and rugby league and turning his journey into real opportunities. This is what Becoming MatchFit looks like. Nafi Khandaker is chasing a professional career in NRL or NFL, and he's someone we've had the chance to work with closely at MatchFit 360, helping build his journey off the field.
Nafi, welcome to Becoming MatchFit.
Thank you so much for having me, Nicole. Thank you.
Pleasure. So I always love starting at the beginning. Can you just talk a little bit about what sports did you play growing up?
I played everything, to be honest. Anything that had a ball, I played. I played soccer, I played footy, I played cricket, tennis, athletics, so whatever it was that we were outside doing, running around, I played.
Amazing. So you had a lot of energy to burn.
Yeah, we grew up really different because obviously we didn't grow up with, the TikTok generation and Facebook. When I grew up, like that's when PlayStation and Xbox was like just, coming along. Only way to have fun for us was we go out and just, run around and play games and be outside.
So true, actually. It is very different now with everyone's head in their mobile phone or playing video games. So like I mentioned in the intro, you're from Bangladesh and it's had such a rich history in cricket. You mentioned that you played cricket, but were you ever tempted to go down that path?
Yeah, definitely. My dad really pushed me to go down that path because I was playing cricket at a high level, like rep level. There's so many great players, from my country and so many boys that I guess are going down that path, like from my country because it's like a religion overseas. But I was just really different. I just loved the physicality of rugby league and just growing up playing at like school, uh, and then after school, even just going to my mate's house, we just had a ball and we just always wanted to play footy. So wherever we can play footy, and some guys might not be have a cricket bat at home or ball, but a footy ball, like everyone had it, So that was one thing. But the main thing is, I think I just was really different. Like I just like the whole concept of rugby. I never understood. Look, like now cricket is a short format, like the 2020 and the one day. I never understood like for guys playing for 5 days and then no one wins. Like I never understood it. I'm like, mate, it's just a waste of time. Like there's no winner ends up in a draw. Like, like I don't want to sit there for 5 days and watch it, and no one wins.
All that effort for what? Yeah.
Yeah, also all that effort is sit there for 5 days watching, 8, 9 hours or however long it is. And then, half the time, they play for 3 hours and they can have a lunch break, then they come back out. So man, there's a lot of breaks, man. Like a lot of breaks and then 5 days and no one's still one. So like, have you guys not figured it out? Like in the lunch break, like in how to win?
Of that, I feel like we're a little bit similar. I feel like you're quite efficient. You like an outcome and you like to get it done.
Yeah, just like surely, like after 5 days, like there's a winner. Surely.
Exactly. That's the best. I love that. So how much of your background and culture has shaped the way that you approach your athletic career now?
Yeah, like, I think another thing, like just going back to why I chose footy. I grew up very militant because my dad, like all of his family was in the military, so he just grew up very strict. Yeah, it was just a tough, very tough upbringing. We're very routine. It's because I'm Muslim, obviously. We pray 5 times a day. Don't drink alcohol or anything or smoke. So everything was routine. So at the same time, I think rugby just kind of fit in with that because, you have to be at training. You have to eat a certain way. You have to sleep on time. You have to, be good off the field as well. Like you can't have too many, drama or anything with you in the background. It's kind of like you just always got to be on the ball and be perfect in a way. Sometimes I'd I give my dad a hard time, just being a naughty kid. He'd want to, show me who's boss, and I'd have to run away from him. So I think that kind of helped as well, just playing footy, just like being able to run away from guys.
So, Nafi, we met when you approached Bells and I to help you out with your dream of becoming a professional player, whether it's NRL or NFL. But in the background, you're a real estate agent helping fund this dream. How is this part of the bigger plan?
I've always had that mindset that, persevere, don't ever give up. And so obviously you got to work and you got to have a day job. I wanted to get into real estate when I was younger. I put it on hold because I had a few businesses that I wanted to start, and I did that, and real estate kept coming up. And one of my mates, he was doing it, and I like the whole um, the business side of real estate, the marketing and working for yourself and trying to, I guess, have a working your own hours, but at the same time, having financial freedom. Yeah, I just like the challenge, and I think I've done really really well for myself in that sense. But at the same time, what it's done for me as well, a lot of people at some stage in their life they want to buy a property or invest into a property, or maybe if they just want to rent a property. So yeah, you just end up meeting a lot of people, and it just opens up a lot of doors, and at the same time, want to help someone else achieve their financial goals as well.
We've spoken before about flexibility, which I think is a wise move for you as well. Being an athlete, there's a lot to juggle. So the real estate business for you sounds like it's a good fit to accommodate everything there.
Yeah, 100%.
What does a typical week look like for you in amongst this juggle?
It's pretty hectic to be honest. I wake up, do my 9 to 5, and um, sometimes you have to work late hours, but even on weekends as a real estate agent, because most of the listings and things like that are on weekends. I try to not do as much on the weekend because try to get everything done during the week, so I have that time off on the weekend as much as I can. But sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. So yeah, it's just full on. It's like 60 hours per week. Like if you add in the training and if you add in all of that, yeah, it's definitely long hours, but it is rewarding. It is definitely rewarding.
Amazing. What do you think is the hardest part about balancing everything there, from work to training and to everything else that you're looking to achieve in your career there?
The hardest part is it's just you're always under pressure. Look, it's a good thing because just being an athlete, you're always under pressure to perform every single week. Being in business and in real estate, you're always under pressure to get a client in and make a sale. I like that you're always on the run. Some people go and work a 9 to 5, and then at the end of the week, they know how much they're getting, whereas you don't know how much you're getting. But it is a little bit exciting because the stars are the limit, and it just depends on how hard you work. And
Yeah, absolutely. It's the risk reward, isn't it, of having your own business or running the show.
yeah, exactly.
Definitely, definitely. So when you are feeling that high pressure, what is it in those moments that keeps you going?
I think just like my end goal, like what I want to achieve for myself, and obviously, to help out my family. I think that's what keeps me going. Keeps me going because I've always been a firm believer. Like once you start something, stick it out. Doesn't matter how hard it is, because at the end of the day, you will definitely reap the benefits. It's just like the hare, and then you have the tortoise. One's like really really fast, and and then falls asleep and then gives up, and then you're kind of like the turtle, um, like really, really slowly. You want to give up, but the turtle ends up winning at the end of the day because the other guy gave up and fell asleep. So, so it is sometimes, patience. Sometimes you like, okay, it's just going to work out. But I've always persevered. Like with rugby, been playing for 18, 20 years. It's a long time of your life, I'm only 28. So it's built a lot of discipline and a lot of perseverance in anything that you do. Yeah.
Fantastic. And Nafi, I see you as somewhat of a leader as well. You mentioned a bit earlier that rather than going down the cricket path, you wanted to be different and you chose football. And recently, you took a trip to Bangladesh. Now, we worked together before you went on this trip to be really intentional about how you show up with your content, your positioning, and opportunities. But you really put that into action when you were overseas, and we couldn't have been more proud. Can you talk a little bit about that trip? Like, what sparked the idea to go over there and showcase what you were achieving and tell that story?
Yeah, that's definitely hats off to you guys, you and Mills. I love you guys for that because I had a little bit of a marketing background, but you guys really broke it down for me in every step, and I really thank you guys for that because doing real estate and then as an athlete, like there's only so much time that you have, during the day. So adding in that editing element and the content element, it does take a lot more time because you know, it's a craft in itself. Like, I think I've heard you and Bell say, like, putting out the right content and then at the same time capturing the brands. Like, they really want to see what type of content that you're putting out and if you're marketable. So for me, I went there for a family function and then she was going to the States after that for my training. But while I was there, I might as well see if anyone is willing to come on board as a sponsor. And I reached out to people that I knew, and eventually, I did end up getting two, um, which is really really good. And I told them my story about becoming a Bangladesh's first professional rugby player or NFL athlete, and they really loved the story. And when I went there, I tried to give back to the kids over there because some of them they don't really have the coaching and they don't have the facilities over there as well. So I've been playing at like the semi-pro level. So I just thought I'd give back, and eventually everything kind of worked out with the sponsors.
Yeah, it was fantastic to see when we were watching on your socials and even chatting to you while you were over there. It was such a joy, and I loved working with you in that capacity because you just get it. It is that storytelling, and like you say, you can get caught up in the day to day without actually realizing that that is the goal that sponsors are looking for. So yes, taking a little bit more time, yes, upskilling yourself on maybe some video editing, but in the end, definitely worth it. And you're, a great example of that. Did you expect that level of attention you got? Because can you just recap? You got on television twice. It wasn't just like in someone else's social media, or it was national television.
I didn't, to be honest, I didn't really expect it. Like I had the family function, and then I did a bit of coaching there. And but I think what's great about it is they were very intrigued, like because in my country, obviously cricket is a like basically like a religion, and then they started seeing us playing rugby and doing training, and people were really intrigued. So then reporters and people were interested in, okay, like where's he from and or what's he doing here? Yeah, everything just fell into place, and they wanted to hear my story. And I think one thing about a third world country as well is if you're from overseas, like naturally they draw to you. The reporters came down and they'll do the story, and then someone else from another TV channel, they wanted to do a story as well on it. So everything just worked out, and I think it was definitely good because I gave you guys a shout out and sponsors and everything like that, and promote my story. So as they say, any form of publicity is good publicity. So
Definitely. We were super proud and grateful. Thank you so much. And now you're back, and then you've been featured by Brad Walter on NRL.com as well. So, how did that feel?
no, I think it was sensational. Obviously, thanks to you guys for that. And I just told Brad my story, and he was intrigued because rugby league is a sport where there's so multicultural and there's people from so many different backgrounds, and that's what makes rugby league great. That you can be Fijian, you can be Aussie, you can be European, Italian, Lebanese. Doesn't matter where you're from. Just if you have a dream and you put in the work, like you can make it. And I don't think too many sports gives you that opportunity where everyone is like under the one bracket. So I just told Brad my story. Yeah, he was all for it because the more people that watch the game, the better it is for obviously for the development of the game. But then at the same time, it gives athletes from my country an opportunity. The other day, I bumped into someone and he was saying that he's from the same country as me and his son's playing in the Penrith comp. When he heard my story that I was playing semi-pro and that I was pursuing it, like his son just reached out to me on Instagram and just started asking me about what should I do, like how can I pursue it as well. So that's what I want to do. If I can inspire one person or one boy or girl to play footy and go for their goals and reach for their dreams, like I'm all for it.
Fantastic. I love that. And I think there is this assumption that if you're from a particular culture, then you're expected to play a particular sport. And it doesn't have to be that way. You've broken it down beautifully. And when we can open the doors and be more multicultural, everybody wins. So I think you're doing a brilliant job of that, Nafi.
Thank you so much.
So now you're at the point where you're looking to have a manager and build your commercial opportunities. What does the right support actually look like for you at this stage?
Yeah, so look, I've had a couple of agents before that, and then now I've just um, signed with another one, which is probably little bit more in terms of the direction that I want to go. And thank you, Belinda, for the introduction. They're really, really top agency, and they have a lot of, really good clients. It's just to explore the playing options, like where I'm going to go. And then at the same time, we did speak about the NFL. Depending on what happens there, that might be another option as well. So
That's so exciting for you. So you really have some big goals, which I love. What does the future look like in the next 5 years?
yeah, like I'm obviously open to anything at the moment because sport. That's another thing that's great about it. Is like that lifestyle of traveling and not being always stuck like at the one place. So like the next 5 years, I'd say, definitely any professional environment that I can make it into, whether it's NFL or the NRL. Obviously, as an athletic career, it's not the longest, like you can't play to 50. So definitely try to, maximize my earning potential. And I really want to do well on the field, obviously perform, do well, and make my family proud, but also the club and the supporters proud. Like, I want them to know that I'm someone that always puts in every single week. Hopefully become a fan favorite. Like I definitely love interacting with people and the fans. And look, obviously you want to stay at the one club forever, but sometimes, as you know, but that doesn't happen. If I stay at the one club forever, like obviously, it's ideal, but that's a long-term goal for me over the next 5 years, just to cement my name as an athlete, do my best, play as long as I can. I think as well, definitely like coaching, like I definitely would like to help my country and give them, the best facilities that I can give them so they can, play the game and definitely, help the up and coming next generation.
Fantastic. Well, I know that we will be supporting you and you will have the whole of your country behind you as well. So when you say that you love interacting with fans, I think you're going to have quite a few. Is there someone who you look up to that inspires you?
Probably Muhammad Ali, just the fact that what he was able to do in his boxing career, but also off the field as well. He was definitely a people person, and he always stood for the right thing. He's someone that like every awesome athlete like definitely looks up to.
For sure. Yeah, super inspiring for so many reasons. So, last question, Nafi, and we always close out with this. While you've taken so much of what we talk about at MatchFit and really put it into practice and couldn't be more proud, you've built your profile, you're creating opportunities, and you're thinking beyond performance. What does becoming MatchFit mean to you?
I love what you guys done, just helping out athletes and just doing the best that you can to just help them. For me, becoming match fit is just promoting the brand and at the same time opening up pathways, I guess, for other athletes. If I can help any way, I'll definitely do that. But that's what I think match fit stands out for, is just like the things that athletes go through day in, day out. They might not know too much about how professional sports and the whole business side of it. Like I definitely recommend you guys to anyone where because you guys definitely have that empathetic side to it where it's just more about helping the athlete. And obviously, once you help the athlete, they're grateful and they definitely refer you, to other athletes and other professionals all around the world, whatever sport that they're playing. So I think that's what match for me is to me is just the sheer fact how much you guys care and how much you guys go out of your way to help the athlete and to get them to their end goal and succeed. So, and like I said, I'm all really grateful.
Thank you, Nafi. That was very kind words, and we do appreciate it. And we love working with you, and we can't wait to see you continue to shine because you are on that path, my friend, and it's just so lovely to watch.
Definitely, hopefully, some more interviews, and I can definitely give Matt MatchFit shout outs and I won't forget you and the girls. So hopefully we can continue this for the next couple of years. Well, even if I'm in the NFL or whatever it is, I love my Aussies. That's where the heart is. Like, obviously, I'm all Aussie, so definitely give you guys a shout out wherever I'm in the world.
Amazing. Well, thank you. It's been so good chatting with you. And we will catch up again soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks,
for having me.
Nafi. Thanks so much for listening to Becoming MatchFit. If today's conversation inspired you, feel free to share it with a teammate or someone you love as well. You can access free tools, resources, and our community in MatchFit 360 Academy. The link is in the show notes. Until next time, unlock your value, change your game, and become MatchFit.